Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo, and I've been away for a minute. I apologize about that. Been kind of focusing on the family for the last week or so, and actually just had my birthday on May 2nd. Been just sort of doing a little bit of self-reflection and thinking about like some career path type stuff. And shout out to my boy Skywalker. Skywalker DFS, if you haven't checked out his channel. Got a little bit of advice from him and just been kind of sorting some things out. So I appreciate the support, those of you who enjoy my show. If you're the praying type, do me a favor and pray for a little bit of clarity for me, just with some stuff that I have to figure out as far as, career type stuff, being a dad now. I have to make some decisions here pretty soon, but yeah, let's talk about it. We've got 2 games on today's slate. Happy Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. And we're going to get back into it. And I want to talk to you guys about this new Underdog original game that they added called Ladders, which is really cool, I think. So you pick 3 to 5 picks that you like. Right now, I'm only seeing points available, but you pick 3 to 5 players. And they start every player off at like a lower number, like a discounted play, almost like a easier to hit play. And if you take like 3 picks, for example, if all 3 of those guys hit that first round of the lower numbers, then you lock in your first multiplier. And then there's like closer to what the actual line is. And then if they all hit their actual line, you lock in an even higher multiplier. If those guys happen to go off and they all hit the next line up, which would be more of a higher, harder to hit line, then you get a super high multiplier. So you can get up to 100x. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm going to be trying it out today, but they just launched that. And then we also have, for round 2 of the playoffs, we're back at the 40% boost token for the extender, which I've absolutely enjoyed. I rocked it all the way up to the 90%. Unfortunately, I didn't get my last slip locked in right when I started to, I kind of like fell off a little bit as I was sort of figuring out some family stuff, like I said. But yeah, you start game 1, you get a 40% boost token, you work your way all the way up as the games go on, game 2, game 3. And then if the series goes to a game 7, you get a 100% boost token. So a lot of fun. So if you haven't signed up for Underdog yet, use code JRUSSO. They're going to give you up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a free pick to help you cash your first slip. All that information's down below. And do me a favor, guys, like the video, drop me a comment. I got restricted again. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I don't see any other content creators dealing with this. They keep restricting my videos, and it gets to a point where it's like there's kind of no point in me doing it if they're not going to let people see my videos. So do me a favor, like the video, help me push through these restrictions. I appreciate it. Let's talk about the picks I've got for today. So I'm going to be going with different lines on Prizepicks and Underdog. So for Prizepicks, we'll get it started with Jrue Holiday. I like him over 23 fantasy score against the Knicks. And then Aaron Wiggins over 4.5 field goals attempted. I like this, against Denver here. Michael Porter Jr., I'm going over 19 points, rebounds, and assists. And then Isaiah Hartenstein over 18.5 points, rebounds. Again, I can't display the Underdog screen because they've made changes to their platform in the state I live in. And so it's only giving me access to the mobile app right now, which sucks, but it is what it is. I'm still playing it because I love Underdog. But on Underdog, I'm going with Jrue Holiday over 13.5 points, rebounds. Aaron Wiggins over 7.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then I'm getting Isaiah Hartenstein 18.5 points, rebounds, and Michael Porter Jr. We're getting the points, rebounds, and assists at 18.5 instead of the 19. So I got that locked in. So yeah, let's start breaking down the plays. Man, I've missed you guys. It feels like forever. So I'm excited to get back in the groove here, and I'll keep you guys updated on everything that's going on. As I told you, moving forward, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, Jrue Holiday. I've got it pulled up on his points, rebounds at 13.5. So we'll start there, then we'll talk about his fantasy score. So yeah, this feels solid to me. He's actually for the 4-point bump, that seems like as far as if you took the points at 9.5, adding the rebounds there at 13.5, it's just a 4-point bump, and that seems to be like kind of his average right now is those 4 rebounds. So he's done that in 3 straight head-to-heads. Yeah, I feel like he should be able to get this done. I like the fantasy score better, but I'm happy to take the points rebounds. He's cleared this in 6 out of his last 10 games. And yeah, the head-to-head's not looking bad. Like we said here, 3 straight. So as far as the head-to-head goes, yeah, 63% hit rate, 5 out of 8 games. And yeah, we can just make sure here. I did this myself to make sure, but I'll do this on the fantasy score too. We're going to put Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and we'll go Kristaps Porzingis and just look at what the head-to-heads have looked like with all the studs in. And it's still 4 out of 7 games, still a 57% hit rate. So I think maybe it was Porzingis might have been out for one of those games. One of those big 3 were out for one of those games. But you can see he's been knocking on the door regardless for the points rebounds. His lowest game was 12. So one more bucket in any of these would have been a perfect hit rate of 100%, 7 of 7 games. So yeah, I'm feeling good about the points rebounds. If we look at the matchup here against the Knicks, pretty soft for points, 20th in points allowed, 7th in rebounds allowed. So he shouldn't have any trouble getting this done. The minutes should be secure. We're in playoff mode now. So let's look at his last 5. So this is the last 5 with all 3 of those guys in. So I know it's been a little bit spotty, but if you pay attention to trends, the bad games have been trending up, and the good games have been every other. So he's due tonight to get another green here. And I know that's not saying much. I'm not saying that's a guarantee, but if you look at trends, that's a little trend we have going there. Over the last 5, averaging 33 minutes, 46% from the field on 8.2 attempts, 52% from beyond the arc. So he could afford to take a few more threes with the way he's been shooting. He's averaging 2.2 made threes a game over the last 5 games, and then 8.4 rebound chances, pretty consistently getting in there trying to grab rebounds. His lowest outing was 7 rebound chances. So yeah, he's got the ability to grab at least those 4 rebounds that we're paying for, having it attached to the points. And then I think he could actually maybe do a little bit better than that tonight. So let's take a look at the fantasy score real quick. All right. So this I'm actually a little bit more excited about, the fantasy score here. Let's take a look. So yeah, 4 out of his last 5 games, he's cleared the fantasy score. We know he's great on defense, super clutch, and he tends to start to really get into rhythm as the playoffs continue. He starts to just, kind of go into playoff mode. And he's solid 3-point shooter, like we were just saying. I think he could afford to take a few more shots from beyond the arc because he's been cashing them. But yeah, the head-to-head, if I'm not mistaken, I think the head-to-head looked pretty solid. Yeah, look at that head-to-head for fantasy score. 7 out of 8 games. It's because of that defensive upside. And the one game he missed was 21.5. So one more block, steal, bucket, you name it, and that would have cashed that for us. Maybe not just a rebound or just an assist. Actually, for fantasy score, an assist would have done it. An assist would have pushed it at 1.5. But either way, 3 straight games of 30 plus fantasy score. I'll take this 23 all day. And then the head-to-head minutes have been consistent as well. Let's look here. So yeah, he's averaging 57% in the head-to-head matchups, and then 43% from beyond the arc, still averaging those 2 made threes a game, 4.6 attempts. I would love to see this go up to like 7 attempts. He shoots great. In general, pretty crispy shooter from beyond the arc. But if you look at these last 3 games from beyond the arc, he was 67%, 50%, and 50%. So shoot him more, shoot the ball more. Let's see. They don't necessarily need it as far as like they're winning these games. So yeah, not necessarily needed, but I would like to see that as someone who's got him in my fantasy lineups today. Let's take a look at Daily Grind and see what they think about Jrue. I'm going to refresh this. So they don't have the fantasy score on here, but they do like those points rebounds at 13.5. They have it at a 50.95% odds to hit the over minus 122. Not a whole lot of juice, but I'll take it. If if they're crunching the odds on the optimizer and they're saying, hey, this actually looks good to go over. They also like his points, rebounds, and assists. And at 17 flat, that's really not bad. You're just paying what, like 3.5 point bump for the assists attached, but I just went points, rebounds. And then the points over 9.5 look good too. 50.72% odds to hit the over, minus 120. All right, let's keep it rolling. So Aaron Wiggins, I love this play. I love both of these plays. I love the 4.5 field goal attempts. I like the points, rebounds, and assists. I like the 4.5 field goal attempts just a little bit more personally, but the PRA looks good too. And I was really torn on which one to take. So I got one on Prizepicks for the attempts, and then I went ahead and I was able to just grab this PRA on Underdog. So this is the head-to-head for the PRA. You can see 7 straight games here, and as of late, 12 or more in 6 straight, and we're getting this at 7.5. Been kind of sneaky with the rebounding in some of these head-to-head matchups. You've got a game here where he had 6 rebounds, and then March 9th, he had 7 rebounds, and then their most recent head-to-head, he had 4 rebounds. So this is just a really low line. I know that like maybe his minutes have been a little bit spotty. They in fact have been. He's still been clearing, but if you look at these minutes, as of late, this is just kind of crazy to me. So you have 36.5, 26.3, and then you have 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 14 minutes. He still got that done. He had 8 points in 7 minutes against Memphis. But yeah, you see it kind of dipped all the way down, and then we're trending back up here. So 14 minutes, he still went for 11 points and 2 rebounds. So I'll take that PRA all day. And then, yeah, like we said, the head-to-head looks beautiful. We zoom out a little bit, look at the last 10. The last 10 looks beautiful. 90% hit rate, 9 out of 10 games. And then let's look at this note from Outlier. He's exceeded 7.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 17 straight games versus bottom 10 defenses for assists allowed. So he's averaging 22.1 PRA in 17 straight games versus bottom 10 defenses for assists allowed. So, I mean, look at these last two games with these types of matchups. That was against Utah and the Pelicans. So yeah, but that's still a bottom 10 defense for assists allowed. He went for 44 and 42 PRA. Here we go against the Suns, 25. So yeah, I mean, that's solid. 17 straight. So yeah, I'm feeling comfortable with it. I'm going to look at his matchup specifically here, and then we'll get into the field goal attempts. So for shooting guards, 28th in points allowed, 9th in rebounds allowed, 29th in assists allowed. And like we said, he cashed this even on a game where he had 14 minutes. He cashed it in a game where he played 7.4 minutes, and he still went for 8 points. So I feel like this is a nice low-hanging fruit. Someone whose minutes are going to be spotty, but we've seen him do it in under 8 minutes. So that's how low this line is. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Let's talk about field goals attempted on the Prizepicks slip. So yeah, I mean, even again, he had 6 field goal attempts in that 7.4 minute game. But yeah, it's looking solid too. If we go out to his last 10, 8 out of his last 10, he's gotten it done. The 2 that he missed, he had 4. So 1 more field goal attempt in either of those games, and he would be a perfect, 10 for 10. So yeah, it's looking solid to me. Let's look at the head-to-head. 6 straight games of 6 straight head-to-heads of going for at least 5 field goal attempts. So the nice thing about this category is he doesn't even need to hit these shots. He just needs to take the shots. And he's gone 6 straight head-to-head. It's looking, this is looking solid. Here's a note from Outlier. He's exceeded 4.5 field goal attempts in 18 of his last 19 games versus bottom 10 defenses for three-pointer attempts allowed. He's averaged 10.7 field goal attempts over this 19-game run against these bottom 10 defenses for 3-pointers attempted allowed. So yeah, I'm going to be taking the field goal attempts. I like the PRA too. If the field goal attempts are gone by the time you're trying to make a slip on Prizepicks, take the 7.5 PRA. I'll take that all day. Let's take a look on Daily Grind. They like the PRA. They don't usually go field goal attempts on the optimizer. Usually doesn't catch it, but they love this PRA top play, and that's for overs or unders. They like this 53.04% odds to hit the over minus 133. BetMGM minus 135, Caesars minus 133, Underdog minus 122. So go with your gut. Oh yeah, so let me just fine tune this a little bit because it's pulling up Aaron Gordon too. Okay, so these are all plays for Aaron Wiggins. So yeah, they love the PRA the best. They like his rebounds over 1.5. They like his assists over 0.5. But yeah, just give me that PRA at 7.5. I'm going to make it simple. All right, Michael Porter Jr. This is expected value with an EV play according to EV plus play according to Outlier. So if we look at this head-to-head, yeah, I know that he can be one of those type of guys that just he'll be hot and then all of a sudden he's just standing around not doing much. But this head-to-head looks too good for me to pass this up. For the 18.5, 100% hit rate. For the 19, one of those games would be a push at 19, but we've got 5 straight of him getting 25 or more PRA against OKC. So OKC's really tough, and I think that he's one of the guys that ends up having to be, the guy getting a little bit less attention that the ball tends to funnel towards. If you take a look at the matchup, 3rd in points allowed, 20th in rebounds allowed, 4th in assists allowed. And then if we go specifically over to small forwards here, it's kind of similar. 9th in points allowed, 21st in rebounds allowed, 7th in assists allowed. So yeah, I mean, like the proof is in the pudding. I mean, every head-to-head, he's cleared it. If we take a look here at the last 5, we're probably going to see a little bit more volatility. Yeah, so only 2 out of his last 5. And then let's go last 10. 6 out of his last 10. But let's check this note from Outlier. I love these notes from Outlier. So dope. So he's exceeded 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 14 of his last 18 games on the road. So he's showing out a little bit more on the road. And if you watch the Nuggets, you can see it. Like, he actually does a lot of these games where it tends to be as if the home court advantage is playing a role and the crowd is getting involved. He tends to shine in those types of moments and really steps up. Some guys thrive under that kind of pressure, and he definitely seems like the type of player that, if you look, 14 of his last 18 games, he's cashed in those environments, averaging 26.3 PRA, 78% hit rate over his last 18 games. So, in these games, minutes are pretty consistent, a little bit of volatility, but overall averaging 34.9 minutes, 12.9 rebound chances, 3 potential assists, 49% from the field, averaging 6.6 made buckets, and then 39% from beyond the arc, averaging 2.4 made threes a game in these types of runs. Now let's look at the head-to-head real quick, where he's been just totally shining. So he's doing this on an average of 34.6 minutes. The field goal attempts kind of go up on average, 15.6 attempts against OKC, shooting 44%, and then shooting even better from beyond the arc. Like I said, he does play better on the road, but in this type of matchup against OKC, look at this. He's averaging 3.5 made threes a game against OKC, 42%, 8.3 attempts. So we know the attempts go up, the made threes have gone up when he's going against OKC. So I love this play. I feel good about it. And we're getting this at 18.5. That's very low for him. I think it's just been because of the volatility lately, but that doesn't scare me in this playoff environment. All right, so let's take a look at Daily Grind real quick. So they like his points rebounds the best at 17.5. 52.06% odds to hit the over minus 126. They like his points assists over, 51.4% odds to hit the over minus 125. They do like the PRA even at 19, and we're getting it at 18.5 on Underdog and 19 on Prizepicks. I like them both. Like we said, he's averaging 22 in these road games. So 50.88% odds to hit the over on the PRA, minus 121. Let's see if there's anything else they like here. They don't really like his points alone at 12.5. But yeah, you could take those points rebounds if you don't want that 1.5 bump. The thing is for Porter, that he doesn't assist the ball that much. He'll have a random game where he goes for like 5 or 6 assists, but typically it's not very often. That's why sometimes you'll see an assist demon for him at like 1.5 or 2.5. So go with your gut. But since he's been averaging 22 PRA in general in these types of environments, I'm just going to take the full PRA, but you could take that points rebounds if you want to go with the optimizer. They're just showing that this is the best value compared to other odds makers and other platforms. So they're saying this is your best bang for your buck. So go with your gut. You can take whatever you want here. Let's wrap it up with Isaiah Hartenstein. So this is the head-to-head, which already looks great against Denver. He's cleared it in all 3 head-to-heads. And I think one of these was when he was playing with New York. Yeah, he went for 28 back when he played for New York. And the 2 times that he matched up against them with OKC, he went for 21 and 27. So the head-to-head looks great already. If we look at his last 5, 3 out of his last 5, he's gotten it done. His most recent game against Memphis, he ended up getting that done, went for 11 points and 12 rebounds. But what I like about this is we kind of know what you're getting minutes-wise with Hartenstein. It's going to be in the mid-20s. 24.5 is what he's averaging. And you can see it doesn't fluctuate that much. We got 21 minutes, 26 minutes, just about 21 minutes, and then 25 minutes. So with the way he's performed in the head-to-head, I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking closer to that 25 minutes. But let's look at this note from Outlier. He's exceeded 18.5 points, rebounds in 12 of his last 14 games versus bottom 10 defenses for points allowed. So 21.7 points, rebounds is what he averaged over this 14-game stretch against these types of matchups, bottom 10 defenses for points allowed. 86% hit rate over his last 14 games, and it's really only 2. It's not even like we're seeing a lot of volatility across the board. It's like, no, he was on a burner, and then he had 2 games where he didn't hit, and then he bounced back and went for 23. So the matchup overall, it's one of those defenses, 24th in points allowed, and then 6th in rebounds allowed. If we go over to the center position, it even gets better. 22nd in points allowed, 18th in rebounds allowed. And you can see the minutes, yeah, even with a little bit of volatility here and there, it's only those 2 games where he didn't get it done against Memphis. So I'm liking this. I'm feeling good about it. And like we said, perfect hit rate regardless of what team he's on. He gets it done against Denver. So this should be fun. I'm excited about this play. Let's take a look at Daily Grind, and then we'll get into some bonus plays. All right, so they like his points, assists as the top over. They're not feeling the fantasy score. The thing is he's a great defender, but he tends to, let me just show you guys real fast. I felt the same way about the fantasy score because I was like, well, if he's clearing it on the points, rebounds, I know he's a good defender, but if you look at his history with blocks and steals, when he played for New York, it was popping off, but we have two games here where he got no blocks, no steals against Denver. So I'm staying away from the fantasy score, and I'm going with those points, rebounds. But that makes sense to me that this would be favored to the under because you're paying for defensive upside for that fantasy score line. And we have 2 games, not a huge sample size, but he did nothing. So I'm gonna fade that as well. Or if you do want to try taking the under, it's a little sketchy to me to take the under, but a fade on the fantasy score is where I landed. But they have that favored to the under, 53.05% odds to hit the under. They like the points assist, which he's actually capable of. I almost took the full PRA. He's good about being a force in the paint, grabbing rebounds, dishing it out, and he's got a lot of good scorers on his team. So you could take those points assists at 12.5, 52.67% odds to hit the over -129. Rebounds over 8.5 look good. I think that looks good. I'm happy with the points rebounds together personally, but that 8.5 rebounds does look really good. 52.16% odds to hit the over -127. Everybody's got it favored to go over, and everyone's got it at 8.5. Rebounds and assists, they like that as well. Again, but yeah, you can see they've got like a 3.5 point bump for those assists because he actually is pretty good at facilitating as a big man. So you could take that 12 rebounds and assists, 51.77% odds to hit the over -124. And then the points rebounds, what I landed on is still favored to the over. They just like some of these other plays better. So if you want one of those, take those. But the points rebounds, they have it at a 51.53% odds to hit the over, -125. And for me, the points rebounds is just the biggest margin of success in the head-to-head. So that's what he's still perfect in his head-to-head for the full PRA, but it was just like he was clearing it by more with just the points rebounds. So that's what I landed on because the head-to-head kind of decided it for me since it's 2 different teams he played for, and he just matches up well against Denver. So So yeah, they've got that favorite to the over minus 125, 51.53% odds to hit the over. They like his points over 9.5. Not my favorite play. I would rather have something else attached to it, but they do have it favored just slightly to the over. So go with your gut. You have plenty of options here for Hartenstein. Yeah, so with Outlier, if you guys want to check this out, you can try this for free. They've done so much to this platform. I loved it before, but they've done so much to this platform at this point that I gotta say, like, if you subscribe to their pro plan, once you have tried for a week and see how you like it, it gives you so much. All of these insights, you've got EV betting, you've got like, I love just going to the prop section. I'll show you what that looks like actually. Go to the prop. Oh, no, actually, I found this on Insights. Let me show you props real fast. It's dope. So yeah, you can quickly choose the games. So I'm like, okay, Knicks, Celtics, Nuggets, Thunder. Only show me plays for that. You've got that there, and then you can see right up here, last 5, last 10, last 20, head to head. You can kind of just look like, okay, so what are they showing me at the top of the board? It's on overs and unders at the moment, and you can kind of just scroll through and you can see all the hit rates right there. And then you can say, well, let's put the head-to-heads at the top, make that the priority. Now it's going to take the best hit rates and put it in order going down. So you can see all these 100% hit rates and the head-to-heads. You can kind of decide, you can look at all these plays from different angles, just bouncing between like last 5, last 10. It's like maybe these guys have been great in the head-to-head, but how have they been last 10? You just click it and then it just puts them all like best to worst right in front of you. There's that Aaron Wiggins PRA. It's awesome. So if you end up going for it, the pro plan is awesome. Because you get access to so many tools all in one place. I really do love this app. So yeah, sign up through the link below. You'll get a free week to check it out and see how you like it. Yeah, that's all you got to do. You don't need a code for Outlier. You just sign up through my link and they're going to hook you up with a week because they're confident in what they're providing. So all right, and then Daily Grind, if you want the DFS Optimizer or any of their other tools, they've got the AI slip generator that just builds slips for you and it does all the work for you. All of those are an option over at dgfantasy.com. If you use my code JRUSSO, they're going to give you 25% off. And if you're confident that you're going to want to take advantage of those savings, you can lock it in all the way up to a year. So they'll let you lock it in for as long as you want. If you just pay for it up front, they're like, we'll give you 25% off for a full year. If you want to do it for a month, you'll still get your 25% off. Just make sure you throw my code in and it'll unlock the savings. All right. So I have the optimizer set to just the games for today. So let's take a look here and see what they're liking. A lot of unders at the top of the board right now. Karl Anthony Towns, under 38.5 fantasy score, 55.91% odds to hit the under minus 126. Here's an over. Aaron Gordon, 24.5 PRA. They like it quite a bit, 53.68% odds to hit the over minus 135. Isaiah Joe, who's been getting a little bit more love lately, who dude is just an absolute like sniper from beyond the arc. Dude has the crispiest, like, you ever pay attention to what the net does when these good shooters, like KD has like this sort of like bounce swish type thing. You like hear a little bit of a noise when he's hitting his, like, Isaiah Joe is just the crispiest, man. He's got like a really high arc on his shot, and I've been waiting for this dude to get more shine. But yeah, they like his PRA, 8.5, 53.63% odds to hit the over minus 135. I'm gonna try to target some overs for you guys, but you can pause and just look at these unders too if you want. Like Jamal Murray points under 20, they like that to go under. Isaiah Joe points rebounds, they like over. OG Anunoby points rebounds, 20.5, 53.14% odds to the over minus 132. Kristaps Porzingis over 6.5 rebounds, 53.09% odds to hit the over minus 131. This is a revenge game too for Porzingis. So I think his last 2 games he went off against New York. So that might not be bad to look at that, or some other plays for Porzingis. There's that Aaron Wiggins PRA, 52.99% odds to hit the over minus 134. Josh Hart fantasy score, they like it at 32 flat. The only other platform that they're noticing is got it at 32.9, so you are getting a discount there. They have it at 52.8% odds to hit the over minus 111. Miles McBride over 4.5 points, 52.75% odds to hit the over -131. They also like his PRA over 7.5 for Miles McBride. Isaiah Hartenstein points assists. We talked about that. Josh Hart points rebounds. These are overs that they like. And Jason Tatum rebounds and assists 14.5, 52.41% odds to hit the over -129. We'll do one more and we'll get out of here. I mean, there's the Josh Hart PRA too. They like that, but I'll try to see if there's one more up here that. Mikal Bridges points assists over 16.5, 52.27% odds to hit the over -127. Another play that I was thinking about, almost put it in the video, is Mikal Bridges 3-pointers attempted. I don't remember exactly what it was at. I want to say like 4.5 3-pointers attempted. Very tempting. So take a look at that. I'm not saying to take it. I'm just saying that was catching my eye. So you might want to take a look at that too, because the field goals attempted type plays do not come up on the optimizer. Unfortunately, they do have stuff like 3-pointers made. But yeah, so that's going to do it, guys. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for tuning into the show. I'm going to be trying to figure out what my schedule looks like moving forward. Like I said, I've got some stuff I got to pray about and get a little bit of clarity on from the man upstairs about life and just my pursuits. But I do enjoy doing this channel. It's just I have to kind of prioritize it around my family and the time that I have. So if YouTube is restricting me, what's the point? So I appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video. Drop me a comment. If you guys have questions about plays, hit me in the comments, and I've got all my tools on my phone. So as I'm out and about doing stuff, I can still see that someone commented. I can pull up my tools and I can take a look at it for you if you want a little bit of help making a decision about a play. But as always, guys, good luck. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I'll catch you in the next one.